Today we're looking at solving multi-step equations. Each time we solve multi-step equations, we try to take you to the next level of difficulty. So today, our essential question is, how do I solve equations? My learning intention. I'm learning to solve multi-step equations. You have two warm-up questions. It says simplify these expressions. Pause the video and try to do them on your own, please. Well, I do hope you tried. On the first one, we've got a negative here. That's the same as multiplying everything inside parentheses by -1. So if you want to be able to add, you're going to change the symbols to their opposites. It becomes -4p minus 1 plus 6p. Rearranging to get our like terms together, -4p plus 6p minus 1. -4 plus 6. 6 minus 4 is 2. 2p minus 1 is that expression simplified. Okay, for the next one, we're combining like terms. So if you're looking at the like terms, we have two variable terms that are like, and we also have two numbers that are alike. Numbers are always like terms if they've got the same variable to the same power. Those are like terms. So I've got b minus 2b minus 3 plus 6. 1 minus 2 is -1. I could put -1b, but we usually do not put the 1 there. So it's just the opposite of b, or -b. -3 plus 6. 6 minus 3 is 3. So it'd be plus 3, and we are done. I hope that you were able to get these done on your own so you know how to simplify expressions. Simplifying expressions is the first step to solving equations. So we've got several equations we're going to solve, and I've kind of mixed up the difficulty level. So we might have a hard one and then an easier one, just so that it doesn't stress you out so bad. So looking at the first one, we've got parentheses. Order of operations says we have to do parentheses first. Well, actually it starts with parentheses, then exponents, then. So I've got to distribute the -4 to both of the terms inside my parentheses. Okay, -4 times +1 is -4. -4 times +x is -4x. Minus 3x is equal to. Now I can go ahead and simplify this because we've got 10 plus -7, -7 plus 10. 10 minus 7 is 3. Now, I need to combine my like terms. My like terms are -4x minus 3x. -4 plus -3 is -7. So it's -7x minus 4 is equal to 3. I've simplified both sides of my equality. I can now finish. As I'm looking, I need to get the 4 moved to the other side. So I will add 4 to both sides. Negative 7x is equal to positive 7. Negative 7 times what gives me positive 7? Well, it's going to end up being negative 1, because negative times negative gives me a positive. X is equal to negative 1. Okay, so if I put a negative 1 here, 1 plus negative 1 is 0. So we've got 0 minus 3, but 3x, but this is a negative 1, so this part becomes 0. Negative 3 times negative 1 is positive 3. Positive 3 is equal to 10 minus 7. Your first step is to always simplify both sides of your equation. For the next one, I have numbers that I need to simplify. Okay, I've got negative 7 minus 8. Okay, negative 2x, or negative 2k, is equal to k. Negative 7 minus 8 is negative 15. They're the same symbol, so we combine them with addition. And you keep the sign. So, I'm ready to solve. I've got to subtract k from both sides, so I get all my variables to the same side. I've eliminated it here. Negative 2k minus 1k is negative 3k, is equal to negative 15. Divide both sides by negative 3. And k is equal to 5. And that would be a positive 5. Any questions? If I wanted to check my answer, I'd have negative 2 times 5 is equal to 5 minus 7 minus 8. Negative 10 is equal to 5 minus 7 is negative 2. Negative 2 minus 8 more is negative 10. And it works. So do that quick check after you find your answer to make sure it is the correct answer. Remember how I said that we would have some that would be easier? This next one is probably an easier one to do. You start off by combining your like terms. I've got 7n plus n. Three n minus 15, that will not change, equals 7n plus n would be 8. 7n plus 1 more n would be 8n. Now I'm ready to solve. I need to get my variables to the same side. Subtract 3n from both sides. Negative 15 is equal to 5n. Divide by 5 on both sides. Negative 3 is equal to n. You can plug it back in and make sure it works. If you're still struggling, back the video up and watch the first part again. Okay, so this is up one level of difficulty. Let's see what happens here. Step 1 is to combine your like terms. Okay, I've got x terms that need to be combined on both sides of my equal sign. 8x plus 6x is 14x, is equal to 8x plus 4x is 12x plus 2. Ready to simplify. Subtract 2x from both sides, 12x from both sides. Two x is equal to 2. Divide by 2. And x is equal to 1. Always go back in and substitute and check your answer. Okay, for the next one, I've got 6p plus 1p. 6p plus 1p would be 7p. I have 2 minus 3. 2 minus 3 is -1. I've simplified on the left side of my equal sign. That's equal to 8p minus 8. Always start with your variable and move the smaller variable to the other side of your parentheses. Which is smaller, 7p or 8p? Well, 7p would be. So I'll subtract 7p from both sides. -1 is equal to p minus 8. Add 8 to both sides. -1 plus 8 is 7. 7 is equal to p, and we are done. Okay, the next two actually are square root problems. So we're going to start looking at what it takes to solve a square root problem. We know that squaring and square rooting are opposite operations. You start out by getting your variable on the same side, all by itself. You isolate this variable. I've taken x squared and I've subtracted 25. The opposite is to add 25 to both sides. And I end up with x squared is equal to 25. What undoes squaring? Square rooting. So I will take the square root of both sides. X is equal to. Now, because when you square a number, it gets the numbers get really big really fast. We can usually use our multiplication table. We're coming down here, the square root of 25 would be 5. You can also use your calculator. Remember, the square root button is here. It's right above x squared, so we have to hit the blue button and then the x squared button, and we get our square root. Type in 25 and we end up with 5. Now, is that the only answer? No. It also could be a -5. 5 is our primary square root. -5 is our secondary square root. Each number has 2 square roots. Now, not all of them are perfect squares like 25 is, but each number will have 2 square roots. So, looking at the next one, what do we need to do? If you said add 27 to both sides, you would be correct. So the next question is, what do I do next? I've added the 27. 3x squared is equal to 27. Do I have my x squared term by itself? No. So I've got to divide both sides by 3, and I end up with x squared is equal to 9. Last step is 2. Take the square root, and x is equal to 3. What about your secondary? Negative 3. So x is equal to a positive or a negative 3. Plus or minus. So what are your steps? You're going to simplify both sides of your equal sign. Look at the variable and the smaller, and move the smaller variable to the other side of the equal sign. This should be move, not more. Move the smaller variable to the other side of the equal sign. Isolate the term with a variable in it. Multiply or divide to get the variable by itself, and then you end up square rooting if it's a square root. So, this is solving equations.